What's going on, y'all? It's me, Shamar Liberty, back on this channel again. Now, I know I've been away for a while. What was the last thing I posted? Five Fines M9 wireless microphone. So I haven't posted in a while, but I made my return with minor improvements. Well, let's not say minor, because they're actually major. It actually inspired this video to happen just because I wanted my, kind of return to YouTube to be something a little different. And what I've been doing since I've been away has been that. So I'm excited to talk about camera gear, all of the equipment that I use on a daily to make this setup work, to make YouTube work, my production, company work, and something new that's coming in the works probably later this year, if not next year. Today, obviously, you saw in the title and the thumbnail, we're talking about all of the camera gear that I use in 2026 and beyond to make everything work. So without further ado, I know it's kind of going to be a lengthy video, but we're going to try to get through as much stuff as possible because some of the stuff you already seen, but a lot of stuff you haven't. So let's get to it. I'm going to start with the obvious. The thing that's in my hand is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I know that 17 Pro Max is out, but I don't really need it, to be honest, just because this phone can do it all. This phone has 3 lenses on it in the back, allows me to zoom in at 5x if I'm not mistaken. It allows me to macro at like 0.5. Shoots 4K, it shoots in log. This thing right here is a beast in itself. Like, to be honest with you, the cameras y'all seen on YouTube, this phone might be better than that. Like, I've been using a 7D Mark II for a long time, and I can honestly say from a professional standpoint that I get way better quality out of the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I use my 16 Pro Max mainly for TikTok and Instagram, just short form content. So a lot of that content comes from the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Editing software that I use on my phone is CapCut. But moving on to the next section, I want to talk about my accessories really fast because there's a lot of them. So I kind of want to just speed through this before I get into like the bulk of the stuff that I use. Starting off with something simple. This is the Pixel Perfect color reader. It's basically a card that I put in front of my camera whenever I'm recording to allow me in post-production to make it easier for color grading. I notice a lot of times, especially in my beginning stages of color grading, especially because I didn't have something that shot in log, it was a lot harder for me to get color accuracy. And so this card, allows me to do that pretty well. So you can see there's a bunch of colors on it, anywhere from like blue to red to green to pink. And what I would do in post is basically use it for white balance. So I'll click on the white box in post. It allows the image to have the correct white balance. And then also if I'm putting color, I don't want my colors to be overexposed or too bright or whatever vision I'm trying to go for, or however I'm trying to look visually, I'll use that card to help me and make it easier. Next up, I have a basket of things. These are filters that go on my lenses from Prism Lens FX. I have 3 of them. One is a kaleidoscope, one is a half moon, and one is pretty much like a dust. So it allows the image to be soft. I don't have one on now, but I pretty much use these, in professional works if I'm trying to get something visually different. Instead of trying to like add it on in post, it's just more natural to put it on the lens. Next basket, let's see what's in here because I kind of forgot. Oh, there we go. So I have some more accessories. I have a Pivo, pretty much stabilizer. It helps to get short form content as well. If I'm trying to stabilize something, or if I want like a gimbal look to content, I'll take out the Pivo. I got it for my birthday like way long ago from my sister. Shout out to my sister. I don't use it as much anymore, but if I want to get, buttery smooth shots, it's pretty cool, but I don't use it as often. Next up, I have a Ulanzi light. This goes on my ZV-1. This is for in low light situations, or if I'm in a place where it's just too dark and I need a little bit of light. This works well. It's mad small, but it packs a punch. Trust me, like the visuals, when you turn this on, it's pretty bright. Actually, let me see if this is at its brightest. No, this is its brightest. So like, that's pretty bright. You can't really tell on camera, but like it works for the ZV-1, trust me. And then this is my suction mount from Newer. This allows me to get shots in places that you normally can't put like a tripod or a stabilizer. I mainly use this for like music videos if I'm trying to shoot like car scenes. It's a little risky, but it gets the job done, and you get some of the shots that you normally can't get from regular setup. So for me, this suction mount is so clean. I don't necessarily have to put a tripod, even if I'm on like a countertop and I don't want to put a tripod on top of my countertop, but I still want something to stabilize my camera. You can use the suction mount as well, but this thing is cool. It has plenty of different options in the middle, so I'm able to put, I could just use it for a lot, and it's pretty easy to use, so it's mad strong. So I would recommend it for anybody that's into music videos or trying to get shots like shooting like a TV show and you have to shoot a car scene. You can definitely use this as well. Still have a Joby GorillaPod. I don't use this as much just because I'm not a huge fan of Joby's GorillaPods, or at least this one. This has broken on me a few times. The top head falls a lot, especially if you have something that's like decently heavy. I just don't use it as much, but it's still like one of the premier things that I use whenever I'm vlogging. So if I put my ZV-1 on here, or I put my older cameras, This works well. It's just not perfect, but it's still cool. Next up, I want to talk about storage and card readers, just because that's super important. A lot of people don't really think about it, but the more you do YouTube content and become professional, the quicker that this becomes like super important. So I have 2 hard drives. One is the WD Passport. This is 4 terabytes large, allows me to put a lot of space. The only problem I have with this is it's a USB-A, and because of the computer that I'm currently working with, I have to get a dongle. And then 2, it's not really compatible with Macs. You can use it for a Mac, but you have to, you know, format it and convert it. And a lot of times when I'm updating my computers, if a new software update comes out, it doesn't convert with the WD. So like a lot of times I've had, I think once or twice, where I had a bunch of footage on that hard drive, and because I had to software update my computer, the formatting became irreversible. To where I had to format it again, which means all the footage that I had on there kind of got wiped out. Now, obviously I found solutions to this, like having online storage and things of that sort, but essentially you want a hard drive just for even editing purposes. You don't want your laptop carrying all of that space with all the files that you shoot on. I highly recommend you get a hard drive. The current hard drive that I use on a daily is the Lacy 1 terabyte. I think it's 1 or 2 terabytes on this hard drive. To me, it works out fine. I haven't had no issues. It's Mac compatible. It's USB-C. So for me, this was the upgrade for me, and clearly, as you can tell, I use a MacBook Pro, so the Lacy was like a no-brainer for me, but I do need to get more just because 2 terabytes isn't enough for me. Probably gonna get a 4 terabyte the next time, but I love the Lacy and I just love the design. And lastly, for a card reader, I use BenFi that has all sides. So this has a micro SD card. On the right side, it has a SD card and CF Express, and then it has a regular SD card on the right as well. So for me, this is a no-brainer. I love this because I'm able to use any memory card that I have. I have a bunch. You know, I shoot with a micro SD card for certain cameras and drones. I shoot with a regular SD card for cameras, and I shoot with a CF Express for certain cameras as well. So this was like a no-brainer to get, and it was fairly cheap. It also comes with a USB-C port, and it comes with a USB-A. So if you're shooting with Windows, you'll be fine. But if you're shooting with a Mac or any compatible laptop or device that uses a USB-C, you should be fine as well. Moving on to the next thing, I kind of can't show it right now because I'm currently using it, but I'm using the MacBook Pro M4 Pro, and the editor of choice when it comes to editing these videos is Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, I do fluctuate. Sometimes I use DaVinci Resolve if I'm trying to color or get something more cinematic for color grading, but for the most part, I do all of my work on Premiere Pro. I just love it. I love the cohesiveness of Premiere Pro, After Effects, Photoshop. Everything just fits into one. I don't like the price, but hey, it is what it is. So that's my editor of choice. I'll also link down everything that I talk about down below if you guys are interested in getting it for yourself. Next up, I guess while we're here, we're going to talk about the mic. I'm using the Fifine 688 CT from Fifine. This mic is around $60–70. I've been using it for about 2 years now, and clearly you can tell the sound quality is outstanding. I love this mic so much. I've been using it pretty much in every video. So every video that you've heard, you know, from the time I believe this channel started up to now, has been this mic. I highly recommend it as well, and it comes with a boom pole. You kind of can't see it because I don't want it to block the camera, but it comes with a boom pole, but you can also get other accessories for this mic as well. Has an audio gain at the bottom, has a mute button right here. I don't want to touch it because I'm gonna go mute, but you can easily touch it and mute yourself, and it's meant for a bunch of things. Like you can plug it to your computer, you can use it for game streaming, you can use it as a microphone for your games, whatever that may be. And it also has an XLR input. If you don't want to use a USB-C port, you can also use this mic professionally with a mixer or anything that uses an XLR input. Keeping up with the microphones, I also use the Rode VideoMic Go. Now granted, it kind of broke. I've been using like Gorilla Glue to kind of hold the piece steady. I don't know if you guys can see it right there, but essentially it broke right there. In terms of mounting it on my camera, it's kind of hard, but I just basically glue that part on and it works out fine. Only thing is it has like a slight ringer, so sometimes if I'm like around other metals or certain things like that, it starts to ring, and to me that's a bit annoying. I use this if I have to. I really don't like using it, and I definitely want to upgrade and get something else. But for me, this is kind of the mic that I use right now if I'm like shooting professional shots and people need to talk or something. I'll put this on. It's not my favorite, but it's what I got right now. And then also for lighting, I also wanted to talk about the Energon, but this is an Energon light. I put this on top of my camera if I need extra lights, like if I'm going into a situation where it's a little bit dark and I need some light on top. This light is beautiful. Like it gives me bicolor, so I'm able to change the Kelvin, whether it's I want a warmer color or a colder color. It's USB-C chargeable, so it's rechargeable. Don't have to put no batteries or anything. It has multiple mounting points, one on the side here for vertical shoots, and then one here at the bottom for horizontal. I mostly use it for horizontal, obviously for professional work. But if I ever want to shoot content like short form, I can also flip it down here. So continue on with lighting. Again, I can't show it because I'm using it currently right now, but right now I use the newer, I don't even know what this light is called, but right now I used to use it as my key light, but I've recently upgraded. This right now is becoming my fill light, and sometimes it even is my hair light or my rim light, just because it's cool. It does the job, but it's not as powerful, and it doesn't have an option to change the brightness. It's kind of one light. It uses a light bulb, so once that light bulb goes out, I have to buy a whole new one. So for me, it's cool. It got the job done for years, but it was definitely time to upgrade, which moves on to my next light, which is the Amaran 150C. This is the key light that you guys are seeing right here. It's pretty huge because I also got a light dome 90 inch. I also got a 90-inch light dome, so it allows the light to kind of travel as far as possible. Then also have a diffuser with a honey grip on it, so it allows me to, you know, kind of control that light straight to me. But I love this light. I just got it like a few days ago. I've been using it for a while, so yeah, it was definitely worth the upgrade because I'm able to change the colors. I can also change it from any different colors, from like red to green to blue to pink. It's bi-color, so it allows me to change the Kelvin as well. And it's LED, so instead of a light bulb, it's basically a LED. So the last thing I want to talk about is my current setup, which is what I'm using right now. So I have a fieldwork monitor on top of my camera that allows me to see myself, you know, if I'm trying to get color accuracy, how bright something is, am I overexposed, underexposed. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but this is the Sony ZV-1 with a Ulanzi macro lens on it, just because I don't like the original lens that is on the ZV-1. Is too close to my face, especially for vlogging, so I put a macro lens just to give me a little bit more room. But this camera is beautiful. Now granted, I kind of broke the screen, so it's widely cracked, as you can tell, but it still gets the job done. It still works. The in-body audio on this camera is outstanding to me. Like, I've heard so many cameras with the in-body audio and it's like, yo, you definitely need a microphone. This camera, I really don't, which makes my setup lighter whenever I'm going outside and filming something. Now, yes, I do put the Ulanzi light on top. Moving on, this is the Osmo Pocket 3. I've talked about this camera for a while on this channel. This was gifted to me a few years ago and I've been using it ever since. It allows me to also shoot short form content. If I don't want to use my phone, I can also use this, and it shoots in 4K. I think if I'm shooting vertical, it's like 3K, but horizontally it shoots 4K. It shoots in D-Log. It's a stabilizer within itself, so I know my footage is always stabilized, and it has an app so I can transfer files from the camera straight into my phone, which is a plus. I love this camera. The only thing I would give it is the battery life. Battery life to me is very minimal. On full charge, I probably get like an hour tops. Like, it's very, on shooting in 4K, it takes up a lot of battery, so just be aware of that. But I love this camera regardless. And I think the Osmo Pocket 4 is either coming out or already came out. To me, I don't think it's like worth the upgrade, but it definitely has its perks or its improvements. So if you're thinking about getting an Osmo Pocket 4, but it's a little more expensive, I would definitely recommend looking at the Osmo Pocket 3. Next up, I want to talk about my gimbal. Pretty hefty. I use the Ronin S still to this day. I know it's a few years old, it still gets the job done for me. It's able to balance, I believe, like 12 pounds, which the R5C or even my 7D Mark II that I used for a while, it never reached that limit. It is a little heavy, I'm not gonna lie, especially for the setup I used to have. It's a tiny bit heavy, so I'll definitely be upgrading some things just to make it a little bit lighter and also get higher quality footage. But regardless, it stabilizes as well. The only gripe I have about it is the setup time. For me, I still try to balance it as quickly as possible, but it takes me about 25 to 30 minutes. So whenever I'm doing a professional shoot, which I mostly use the Ronin S4, I tend to get to wherever I need to get 30 minutes earlier, or I try to balance it while I'm home. So that way the setup is already done, because if I get on a shoot and I try to balance this, I'm probably gonna miss out on like half an hour, almost 45 minutes of trying to set this thing up. I'm trying to get a little bit quicker and get better at it. But obviously with a new camera, I have no idea what the specs are in terms of balancing this thing. So it's gonna be a whole new process. And especially if the camera rigs is changing up, if I'm changing up a lens, it throws off the balance. So for me, the balancing thing is still like a for me, but regardless, I still love the Ronin S. I still use it on every single shoot that I do outside. So second to last item is my Canon 7D Mark II. Now you're probably wondering, don't you shoot on this camera as the primary? Yes, I do, but we recently got an upgrade. But this has been my workhorse for the past 6-7 years. I love this camera to death. Like, this camera is still in my position. I'm still going to be using it mainly for photography now, just because this is more of a photography camera. But the video on it is super well. I've been using it for my podcast, The Need to Know Before It Ended, for all of these YouTube videos that you see prior to this one, and I've used it for so much more. But this camera to me has served me well. In terms of video, it was definitely time for an upgrade, especially in 2026. But regardless, even though this camera came out so many years ago, it's still one of my favorites, and I still have it to this day. I'm still going to be using it. With that being said, I can't clearly show it because I'm using it right now, but I am using the brand new Canon R5C, which is not necessarily brand new, but it's brand new to me. It's been my dream camera forever, like forever. It's been my dream camera forever, ever since it got announced in, I believe, 2021 or 2022. But obviously it was super expensive just because it was a cinema camera, and it's also hybrid between the R5 and the C70. So for me, I've always thought about this camera. I've always dreamed about this camera, and I told myself, one day if I'm able to purchase this and not put myself in a hole, I'm shooting for it. And luckily I snagged a deal, somebody that was selling it, and it was a no-brainer for me. I had to get this camera. So currently and moving forward, I'll be using the Canon R5C on this channel, and I hope, to make quicker upgrades, as time goes along, because it was definitely worth the energy and time, because I've been shooting on this camera for a long time. But hopefully the next camera that comes out is something that will be a dream of mine as well. But until then, I'm gonna enjoy the R5C for sure. The only gripe I have about the R5C is the battery life. I've heard about it, obviously in doing research about this camera, and realized they were right. This camera eats battery like crazy. Oh my God. But regardless, I personally think it's worth it, just because if you have a V mount or you have multiple LPE6 batteries like I do, it kind of works out. So for me, I'm enjoying this camera. I love it. Shoots 4K. It can shoot 8K if it wants to, even though I'll have to get a V mount battery for that. It's full frame. I can also crop it to 35. There's nothing more I can say. 422 10-bit, shoots in C-Log 3. I wish it had C-Log 2, but C-Log 3. Anyways, y'all, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was super long, but regardless, again, if you want any of this equipment, I'll link it down below in the description so that you can purchase it for yourself. I'm happy to watch everybody's camera bags, what's in your studio, what cameras and equipment do you use for your YouTube video. So if you have one of those, make sure to comment it down below and I'll go watch. But until then, thank you guys so much for returning and watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.